Hello and welcome to Think Watercolour. I was recently asked if I could offer only one piece of advice to beginners, what would it be? And to be honest, without hesitation, my answer would be to use the best quality paper that you can afford. If you're a beginner and you're using cheap, poor quality paper, you find it hard to develop as an artist. And yes, using good quality paints is important and helps. And yes, using well-made brushes helps too. But if the paper is of poor quality, even the best paints and brushes won't help you to progress. Now, I'm not saying you should never use less expensive paper, especially when you're getting to know your paints, trying different colour combinations, etc. You'll not want to use expensive paper when you're just having some fun with your watercolours. No, what I'm saying is that once you want to attempt a more finished work, better quality paper will simply give you the best result. Okay, let me share an experiment with you, and I'll talk about types of paper as I go along with this painting. So, in order to demonstrate how good quality paper is, I've purchased this cheapest children's watercolour set that I could find. This was £3. Let's open it and see what's inside. So we have 11, they call them tablets, I suppose they're pans. Oh, there's a list of the colours, fairly basic. I have no idea how these are going to work, and I'm going to give them a try and see if I can produce something to show that even with the cheapest watercolours you can find, you can still produce something on quality paper. Let me just get this brush out. Now obviously this is aimed at children, so the brush is pretty basic and very small. You couldn't paint anything on a large scale with this brush. But we'll give it a go. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wet these pans, or tablets as they call them, to activate them. If ever you're using watercolours in pans, I would always advocate that you wet them at least 5 minutes before you're going to use them. So I'm just going to, I would normally spritz them, but I'm a bit concerned about this water going everywhere, so I'm just going to drop some water in each one just to activate it and leave it for 5 minutes or so. And see what happens. I'll come back once they've been activated and they're working. The worst thing you can do when you're working with pans is to just scrub away with your best brush, because you're just going to wear your brush out. Whenever I'm working with pans, I always use an old brush to mix the colours with, and then use quality brush to do the painting. For this exercise, I'm just going to use this brush. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a while and let the water settle in and see if we can activate these paints. Okay, those paints have been sitting for about 5 minutes now, and I think they're going to be activated. So because this brush is far too small to wet the sky quickly, I'm just going to spritz it with I'm just going to put this kitchen towel over the horizon line just to protect the rest of the paper, and just wet the sky area with a spritzer bubble. Just let that sink in a little bit. I'm going to speed up the rest of this video, as it's just a quick experiment to make a point about using quality paper. These paints are made essentially for children, and as such are not very pigment concentrated, so mixing them to any consistency will be a bit of a challenge. Also, the palette's silver and makes judging values much harder than using a white palette, which I would normally use. I'm mixing up some blues and greys for the sky first, and dropping them in wet and letting them blend organically. Okay, I've let the sky dry and it's not turned out too badly, and now I can get on with painting the rest of the scene. I'm going to paint some distant hills behind a field with some distant trees at the edge of the field, maybe a foreground tree, a fence, and some foreground grasses. And while I'm doing that, I'll just talk about watercolour papers and basically some information that you need to know. I don't want to make this a review of all the different papers available on the market. I just want to give you the basics so that you can make an informed choice about the watercolour papers that you want to use. I've just mixed up some yellow and some green to work on the tree. While I'm doing that, I'll just talk about the basic types of watercolour paper that there are. There's hot press, cold press and rough. They're the three main categories. Hot press is generally very smooth. Cold press is lightly textured. Rough, as the name suggests, has a heavier texture. Of the three, hot press is the less absorbent, but it's excellent for detailed brushwork and pen and wash illustrations. Cold press and rough paper have very similar qualities overall, but the main difference obviously being the texture. These are the ones that I use most of all. Occasionally I will use hot press if I'm doing a pen and wash painting or illustration, but most of the time I'll either use cold press or rough. Papers are also sold in different weights. Generally you'll come across 4 basic weights. They do vary from manufacturer, but mostly they're the same. You have £90 or 190 GSM, £140, which is 300 GSM, £200, which is 425 GSM, and £300, which is 638 GSM. I've just been blocking in the foreground grasses and I'm just painting the field behind the foreground grasses with some, not quite sure what colour it's turning out to be, but it's a sort of a yellow ochre colour. And I'm building up in layers here, just adding darker colours as I go along. Trying my best to figure out what these colours in this palette represent. They don't bear much relation to the names on the list. For example, the ultramarine is more like cerulean blue. However, I will persevere with this. In the meantime, just getting back to paper weights, the basic principle is the lighter the weight the paper, the more tendency you will have to cockle when it's very wet. So if you're going to do a lot of wet work, I would advise going for either the 300 or the 600 gram paper. But to be honest, I find the 300 gram works best for me for most paintings. I very rarely use anything else these days. I'm just going to paint the distant trees at the far side of the field, and I'm just using some greens that I've mixed up and dropping in some of the ochre colours and letting it all blend wet in wet. Just darkening at the base for some shadows and a bit of variation in tonal value. And it's a great thing about using a quality watercolour paper like this. I don't know if I've mentioned already, it's 300 gram Saunders Waterford rough paper. And it really handles paint very well, no matter how bad the quality is of the paint. Getting back to watercolour papers, the third thing that you need to bear in mind is what the paper is actually made of. And the very best quality is 100% cotton. They tend to be the most expensive, but they are the best. There are other papers that are made with felt or wood pulp in the process, and felt is probably the next best thing down. I think Bockingford is one of those papers. Good quality paper. I've used it a lot, still use it occasionally. But wood pulp is probably the lowest quality. So they're the 3 things to bear in mind. The weight of the paper, how it's made, hot press or cold press, or it's rough paper, and what it's manufactured from. And as I say, 100% cotton is the highest quality. I'm just blocking in some of the darker tones now. I've put the fence in, I'm putting some branches in the trees, just building it up slowly, layer by layer, getting darker as I go along. And as I add these darks, the painting starts to take on some depth. I just want to reiterate that this demonstration is not really aimed at saying you can get away with cheap paints and brushes. On the contrary, using the best quality paints that you can possibly afford, and same with brushes, is always essential if you really want to progress with your watercolour skills. Now, what I'm trying to convey is that without decent quality watercolour paper, even the world's best paints and brushes won't help you with your progress. I have to say that even though these paints are very basic, at £3 for the sets, they are an inexpensive way to encourage children to try painting. And anything that does that is fine with me. I'm working on the darks now and adding fairly thick mixes to get the strength of colours that I need. And finally, just adding some splatter with paint straight off the pans. Okay, so this is the finished sketch. It's by no means a masterpiece, but hopefully it does show how using the best quality paper that you can afford can really help with your progress as a watercolourist. I have to say that I wish I'd had this advice over half a century ago when I first started with watercolours. It would have saved me a lot of heartache at the time, but as I said earlier, if I could only give one piece of advice, it would be this about paper. By all means, use less expensive paper for practice, but always try to use quality paper for finished work. I'll put some of the information that I've talked about in this video in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful. I don't mean to lecture people, but it really is important to know about quality paper. Do give this a like if it was useful. Do subscribe if you're not a subscriber and hit the notification bell for future videos. And once more, thanks for watching.